Hi, I'm Emily Carter. If you're reading this, you probably know me as the founder of Bridge, the platform that connects freelancers with small businesses in a way that's fast, simple, and transparent. But I didn't always have this figured out. A year ago, I was in a meeting at a consulting firm where I worked as a junior project manager. We were an average team, 9 men, 1 woman, me. I'd just come up with this idea, a vision I believe could change the way the world works. But when I pitched it, the laughs that followed told me all I needed to know about how they saw me. "Let's get this rolling," Greg said, clapping his hands once. The meeting had that same corporate smell, coffee, cologne, and stale air. Everyone else was half listening, typing away on their laptops, pretending they cared. I raised my hand, nerves twisting in my stomach. "I have something I want to share." Greg barely looked up. "Okay, Carter, you've got 2 minutes." I stood. "We're missing a gap in the market. Freelancers and small businesses are struggling to find each other. What if we created a direct platform? Simple, global, peer-rated. A Lisbon cafe could hire a Filipino web designer in minutes. No middleman, just trust and tech." Silence. Mark, the self-proclaimed idea guy, leaned back smirking. "That's adorable. What's next?" "A crypto app for dogs." The room chuckled. Sarah, the only other woman in the room, shot me a look that was a mix of sympathy and pity. "Emily, the idea is nice, but do you really think we have the resources for something like that?" Greg cleared his throat. "It's ambitious, I'll give you that. But we're a consulting firm, not a startup accelerator. Let's stay focused on deliverables." I swallowed. "But this could be a deliverable. To the world." Mark laughed again, louder this time. "All right, Zuckerberg. Let's circle back when we have time to waste." I closed my laptop and stood up. "Okay, I think I'm done here." Greg raised an eyebrow. "With the pitch? With all of it?" And with that, I walked out. "You what?" Hannah nearly spit out her wine when I told her what I'd just done. "I left," I said, flopping onto her couch. Like, fully. Quit. Walked out. Mic drop exit. Well, minus the mic. Hannah blinked. "You don't even have another job, Em." "I have an idea." "You had an idea before. Now you have unemployment." I gave her a look. "Thanks for the support." She softened. "Hey, I'm here. Always. You can crash as long as you want, but if you touch my oat milk again, I'm revoking roommate privileges." We both laughed. But late that night, while she slept, I stayed up watching no-code app tutorials and scribbling out workflows on old receipts. I messaged dozens of developers the next day. One offered to help, for equity. Another ghosted me after 2 weeks of work. I posted in Facebook groups, ran a beta version with 12 users, 6 were my friends, and got a rejection email that literally started with, "Dear Mr. Carter." Still, the fire didn't go out. "Emily," I stumbled into the kitchen, still half asleep. "What? Is it the toaster again?" Hannah shoved her phone at me, wide-eyed. "Look!" It was a tweet. "Used at Bridge app to hire a designer in Buenos Aires for our Lisbon cafe." She nailed it. Affordable, fast, amazing results. The future is here. Hashtag BridgeWorks. It had blown up. 10K likes, 3K retweets, and hundreds of replies. I blinked, still processing. "Wait, is this real?" Hannah jumped up and pointed at my email inbox. "Look at your email." "Look." I opened Gmail. My heart nearly stopped. Dozens of subject lines. "Partnership inquiry. Investment opportunity. We'd love to feature you." I turned to Hannah. "I think it's happening." She grabbed my shoulders. "It's been happening. You just finally got the world to notice." We hugged. I didn't care that we were both crying and laughing. We had made something real. 3 months later, things had escalated. Bridge was growing at a crazy pace, but I was exhausted. We'd hit 1.6 million users. We were getting press. Investors were calling. Everything was moving fast. And then I got the email. Subject, "Let's reconnect." From Greg Allen. I stared at the email for a full 5 minutes before finally opening it. Greg Allen, CEO, consulting firm name. "Hi, Emily. I hope this finds you well. I've been following your success with Bridge, and I have to admit, I'm impressed. The platform is really something special. We'd love to have you back. As head of innovation, You'll have your own team and all the resources you need to continue scaling. And get this, we're thinking of acquiring smaller tech platforms. Bridge could be part of that conversation. Let me know if you're interested. We'd love to chat. Best, Greg. I closed the email, unsure whether to laugh or cry. The next day, I walked into the same overpriced cafe we used to hold team coffees at. Greg was already there, sipping his flat white, looking like the same guy who used to dismiss my ideas. Emily! He stood, arms wide, as if we were old friends. It's so good to see you. I shook his hand coldly and sat down. You've done something incredible, he began. Bridges, well, it's blowing up. Thanks, I said, my voice tight. We'd love to have you back. Head of innovation, your own team, resources. And get this, we're thinking of acquiring smaller tech platforms. Bridge could be part of that conversation. I stared at him. Let me ask you something. Of course. When I pitched this idea, what did you say? He hesitated. We weren't ready. We didn't see the vision. No, I said, my voice hardening. You saw me, and you didn't think it could come from me. He shifted uncomfortably. We're trying to fix that now. I stood up. I already fixed it. Without you. And I walked out. Success was loud, but silence was terrifying. 3 months after our viral launch, Bridge hit a wall. It started with a message. I'm trying to withdraw funds, and your platform keeps crashing. I've sent 4 emails. No reply. What's going on? Then another. Are you stealing our money? Then hundreds. I burst into our office, now a tiny 2-room startup inside a Lisbon co-working hub. Laptop under my arm, hair still damp from the shower. Jason, I shouted. He was our dev lead, a 21-year-old genius who slept in hoodies and lived off Red Bull. He spun around, eyes wide. I know. The payout API glitched when we ran the new update last night. We're working on a rollback. How long until it's fixed? 8 hours minimum, he said, voice shaking. 8 hours was an eternity when 1.6 million people trusted you. I called an emergency Zoom with our core team. 6 faces, tense and tired. Emily, we're bleeding users, said Mia, our community manager. Twitter's eating us alive. We're being called a scam. They're tagging journalists now, added Jordan from PR. One blog already posted. Bridge collapse incoming. My throat tightened. Okay, we're not going dark. We go live. Full transparency. I'll post personally. You sure? Mia asked. I'm not hiding, I said. Not now. I hit go live on Instagram. There I was, barefaced. Bags under my eyes, heart in my throat. Hi everyone. I'm Emily Carter, founder of Bridge. I want to talk directly to you because you deserve that. I didn't sugarcoat it. I told them the truth. About the glitch, the mistake, the fix in motion, the money protected, the people working through the night. I know you trusted us, and that trust matters more than metrics, more than press, more than hype. So I'm here. We're here. And we're not running. I ended the stream. Hands shaking. Heart louder than the silence that followed. Then the replies came in. One freelancer wrote, "You showed up. That's more than most CEOs do." Another, "Mistakes happen. Trust is built in how you handle them. Still with you." I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. The next morning, I woke up to an inbox flooded with messages from our users, partners, and even strangers who had heard my story. The most touching message was from a woman named Sophie, a small business owner in New York who had used Bridge to hire her first full-time graphic designer. "I was so scared when your platform went down, but the way you handled everything, being honest, real, and open, made me believe in this company even more. Thank you for being a leader, not just a CEO. You've changed my business, and I'm sure you'll keep changing lives. Wishing you all the best." Tears filled my eyes. I couldn't believe how far we had come from that first dismal meeting where they laughed me off. Today, I was the one being asked for advice. Today, we were back on track, stronger than ever. If you enjoyed the story and it inspired you even a little, please give it a like and hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world and helps me bring more powerful stories like this to life.